Good day, everyone. This is Coach Reese coming at you with another great video. I'm hoping all is well with you and your family and that you're enjoying your day. Today, the title of today's video is Yesterday Cannot Be Changed. Yesterday cannot be changed. And I feel that this video is very important, young people, because you shouldn't put pressure on yourself. You shouldn't put pressure on yourself, young people, as far as, like if you made a mistake yesterday, and you shouldn't dawn on the mistake that you made yesterday in the present, okay? Because when you harbor over things that you've done in the past, it'll just make your life miserable, and it'll cause you to have unnecessary stress when you worry about things that happened yesterday. You know, basically, young people, you can't change what happened yesterday. You can't change what happened yesterday. But what you can do is you can make better decisions in the present, which is today. You know what I'm saying? And you can work on your mistakes that today, you can work on your mistakes in the present day so that you can make better decisions in the future. You know what I'm saying? So young people, I just strongly advise you guys to always live in the present. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the past. You can't change your past mistakes, right? But you can build on, building or igniting a bright future in the present, right? So, like I said, you can't change the mistakes that you made in the past, but what you can do is learn from your mistakes and make better decisions in the future. And like I say, young people, always live in the present, okay? I have two things that I want to talk about before I read the letter for today, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. The first point I wanted to make is, young people, you need to be vulnerable in serious relationships. You need to be vulnerable in serious relationships. So what I mean by that is this, when you're in a serious relationship, what I mean by a serious relationship is, someone that you've been dating on a serious level for, extended amount of time, at least 6 months or more, right? Once you start moving forward, to the fourth month or so, then you can kind of, let your guard down, open your heart, and, be willing to, you know, give love and receive love from that person, that you're in a serious relationship with. Being vulnerable in a relationship is very important because you're giving yourself an opportunity to fall in love. You know what I mean? And you're giving yourself an opportunity to have something real, something genuine, you know what I'm saying, and beautiful, you know what I mean? So, like I say, young people, it's not healthy to be guarded throughout a serious relationship. Now, of course, you should be a little guarded in the beginning stages of a relationship because you really don't know that person, right? So it's always important to be very guarded in the beginning when you're trying to get to know someone. But, as, the months progress, like I say, you get down to the fourth month or so, then you can be more vulnerable and be more relaxed to give love and expect to receive love in return, and I feel that that's a beautiful thing, because if you are vulnerable in a serious relationship, young people, it's going to be a very beautiful, beautiful thing. And I hope and pray that you all will, allow yourself to be vulnerable in a serious relationship. Before I move forward with my last point, I just want to let y'all know, young people, this video is going to be dealing with some very mature, this is a very mature subject. So I just encourage my young people that are like in high school or older, high school, college young people, this is the video for you so that you can learn and grow on how to handle yourself in a serious relationship, okay? My last point is this. Money should not be the main topic when you're getting to know someone. Money should not be the main topic when you're getting to know someone. I'm going to tell you something, young people. When you're trying to get to know someone, of course, it's very important to talk about, finances, how you and that your potential soulmate, how they pay bills, do they have good credit and all of that, do they want to, what are their career goals? Those topics are very important and you need to know those things. But there's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean? So, during the course of you trying to get to know someone, of course, you should ask them about, like I say, about their finances, how they pay their bills and, what are your financial goals in life? Do you believe in investing and saving money and all of that? But, like I say in the very beginning, money shouldn't be the topic, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is, yes, it's important to get to know a person, get to know how they handle their finances or whatever. But I'm talking about you actually physically, giving this person money or whatever in the beginning of the relationship. That shouldn't be the issue. Like you shouldn't have to pay someone to be with them. Does that make any sense? Money shouldn't be crossing the table with someone that you only known like maybe a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. My suggestion is this, young people, only give money to people that you're in a serious committed relationship with. Like y'all been, dating for at least 6 months or more, or, better yet, I wouldn't really focus on giving money to your soulmate until y'all get married, until y'all get married. Now, you have to make that judgment call. If you feel comfortable, after 6 months or so, and you feel that this person is very real and very genuine, at that point, you can, give a little money, like, y'all pay for each other to go out to eat or, just little things. But never, young people, never, ever give large amounts of money to someone that you've only known, maybe 6 to 8 months or even a year. Because even though you guys have been dating for a year or whatever, you guys don't really have a commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by commitment, that's not your husband or wife. Y'all are still trying to get to know each other. So just be very mindful of the topic of money when you're in a relationship, when you're trying to get to know someone in the very beginning, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get started with my letter, young people. Like I say, the title of today's letter is Yesterday Cannot Be Changed. Yesterday cannot be changed. I remember meeting this woman online earlier this year. Actually, we never met in person. We only emailed online. I thought I had found my soulmate. According to her emails, she seemed to be a good woman. She was a God-fearing, intelligent, career-oriented, and very attractive. She seemed to be the type of woman that you want your parents to meet. I was so happy that I had met her. I had been single a long time, and I was excited to be in a relationship again. This year has been a very sad and spiritually painful year because my mom was very ill and she later passed away. That young lady seemed to be right on time to fill that void in my heart. Little did I know that she turned out to be a con artist. Her primary objective was to scam me out of as much money as she could. She said all the kind words of deceit to get what she wanted. The shock of the reality hurt me. The shock of the reality really hurt me. I thought she was a good woman, but she turned out to be a deceiving scammer. I wish that I would have caught on to it. I wish that I would have caught on to her scheme of deception earlier. Young people, I encourage you all to use wisdom in all you do. If I would have not given her money, she would have dumped me early on and moved on to the next victim. Young people, never give money to anyone you met online. Only give money to your immediate family, like your parents, brothers, sisters, husband, or wife. Love is free, and you should not have love is free, and you should not have to pay for love. If a person really loves you, they will be with you regardless if you offer money or not. Yes, yesterday cannot be changed, but the present can be made better. Do not dwell on the mistakes you made yesterday or in the past. Learn from your mistakes and make better decisions today. Always use wisdom and common sense in all you do. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. The question is, how are you going to grow and do better next time? Remember to always strive to be the best person you can be every day of your life. Okay, young people, that concludes my letter for today. And in all my videos, I touch on 3 points on wisdom. I touch on 1 point dealing with critical thinking. And then I end my video with an ending statement of practice. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with my 3 points on wisdom. Point number 1, wise people are good listeners. Wise people are good listeners. Point number 2, wise people have the thirst or desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Young people, point number 2 is very important. Wise people have the thirst or desire to learn good knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Point number 3, wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. Wise people have the courage to teach their wisdom. So young people, I encourage you all to do your research on the topic of wisdom. And I pray that you all will pursue wisdom with the utmost seriousness. Young people, when you pursue wisdom with the utmost seriousness, it'll benefit you, and it'll be a tremendous blessing to you in the long run, okay? I have an ending statement of practice, and it goes like this. Always be a critical thinker, young people, especially when making big decisions. Always be a critical thinker, especially when making big decisions. So young people, I encourage you all to talk to your parents or guardians about the topic of critical thinking. And your parents or guardians will help you navigate the differences between making big decisions and minor decisions. Young people, it's just my humble opinion. The sooner you become a critical thinker, the better off you'll be, and it'll benefit you in the long run. I have an ending statement of practice, and it goes like this. I love you. I want the best for you. I want you to practice using love and wisdom in all that you do. Life is a game that you must learn how to play. Practicing love and wisdom with your family, friends, and loved ones creates a powerful team. Love conquers all, young people, even if you feel defeated. So young people, I encourage you to keep loving and keep growing and gaining in wisdom, and God will bless you in a mighty way. I encourage you all to hit the thumbs up on this video. I encourage you all to share this video with family, friends, and loved ones. And I encourage you all to subscribe to my channel. At the end of the day, young people, I want you all to accomplish your goals and dreams in life and be the best person that you can be every single day of your life. That's very important. I have one more nugget of wisdom before I officially conclude this video. And it goes like this. Don't ever think that you're better than anyone else, but rather, young people, think of yourself as just as good as anyone else. Humility is a vital key to a successful life. I pray that you all will apply that to your life, because it'll be a tremendous blessing to you to take that nugget of wisdom to heart, okay? I want to end this video by saying this. May God bless you and may God keep you until we meet again.